Presented by Cursed by the Witch. Warning, use headphones before listening to horror podcast story.
No Escape from the Dark is a spine-chilling horror story that plunges the reader into a world of relentless darkness, where light becomes a rare and fleeting salvation. The story follows a group of people trapped in an isolated, abandoned building after a series of bizarre blackouts leave them stranded in total darkness. As the shadows close in, they soon realize that something malevolent lurks in the dark, an ancient and sinister force that feeds on fear and thrives in complete darkness. The eerie tension throughout the story is amplified by the characters' dwindling hope, increasing paranoia, and a terrifying realization that there may be no way to escape the encroaching void. Part 8. The Sudden Blackout. The story begins with Rachel, a young journalist, driving late at night through a desolate stretch of highway. She's on her way home from covering a local news story about a series of strange disappearances in a nearby town. The weather has been ominous all day, dark clouds blocking out the moonlight, and an unnatural stillness in the air. As she approaches a remote, abandoned office building, her car's engine suddenly stalls, and her headlights flicker before plunging her into absolute darkness. Panic grips her as she realizes that all the lights around her, car headlights, street lamps, and even the stars, have vanished. The darkness is so thick that it feels suffocating, almost alive. With no way to see or call for help, Rachel makes the desperate decision to seek refuge in the abandoned building she had passed by moments earlier. She stumbles through the inky blackness toward the building, her phone's weak flashlight barely cutting through the oppressive dark. When she finally reaches the entrance, she finds the door unlocked and steps inside, hoping for shelter. Inside, she discovers she's not alone. A group of strangers, 3 other people, have also sought refuge in the building after experiencing similar sudden blackouts. There's Mark, a middle-aged truck driver, Elena, a nervous college student, and Josh, a mechanic who seems to be the most composed of the group. None of them know why the blackout is happening, but all of them share the same growing fear. The darkness isn't normal. It's alive, watching them, waiting for something. And as time passes, it becomes clear that this isn't just an ordinary blackout. Part 2. The darkness closes in, dimly lit office. Using whatever faint sources of light they can find, flashlights, phone screens, and lighters, they begin to exchange stories of what brought them to the building. Mark explains that his truck's headlights died out while he was driving, much like Rachel's car. Elena had been walking home from a party when the street lights around her blinked out one by one. Josh, on the other hand, had been inside his garage when the power went out completely, and he had stumbled across the building while trying to find help. But the most disturbing revelation comes when Rachel mentions the disappearances she had been investigating. She tells the group about the strange rumors surrounding the town she had visited, that people had been vanishing during blackouts, with no trace left behind. The only connection between the cases was the overwhelming darkness that accompanied each disappearance. As the night wears on, the group's light sources begin to flicker and fail. Elena's phone dies first, followed by Mark's lighter running out of fuel. The oppressive darkness outside seems to seep into the building, swallowing everything it touches. Shadows stretch unnaturally along the walls, and strange sounds, whispers, faint scratching, echo through the empty hallways. Tensions rise as the group realizes that the darkness is not just a passive presence, it's hunting them. Josh, ever the pragmatist, tries to keep everyone calm, suggesting they find a way to generate more light. But as they move through the building, they discover that their options are running out. The building's power is long gone, and every attempt to light a fire or create a new light source is quickly snuffed out by the ever-encroaching dark. Part 3. The Entity in the Dark. It isn't long before the group begins to see things in the dark, shadowy figures lurking just beyond the edge of their light, eyes glinting in the distance, and brief flashes of movement. Rachel is the first to notice something truly disturbing. The darkness is moving. It shifts and pulses, as though it's a living, breathing entity. And worse, it's getting closer. Josh tries to lead the group to what he believes is a safer part of the building, a windowless basement where they can hopefully barricade themselves in and find some respite from the darkness. But as they descend deeper into the building, the darkness grows thicker and more oppressive, as if it's alive and feeding off their fear. Along the way, they start losing track of time. Hours pass in what feels like minutes, and their memories of the earlier part of the night become hazy. The darkness is not just a physical threat, it's playing with their minds, warping their perceptions and driving them toward madness. One by one, the group members begin to crack under the pressure. Elena starts hearing voices calling her name from the shadows, voices that sound like her missing friends. She becomes convinced that if she follows the voices, she'll find safety, despite the others warning her that it's a trap. In a moment of panic, Elena breaks away from the group and runs into the dark. Her screams echo back moments later, then are abruptly cut off. The remaining three, Rachel, Mark, and Josh, realize that whatever is in the dark is picking them off one by one. Part 4. Descent into Despair. As the group continues to navigate the darkened building, they find evidence that they're not the first to be trapped here. Old, crumbling furniture and strange markings on the walls suggest that others have sought refuge here before, but there's no sign of any survivors. The markings appear to be warnings written in a language none of them can understand, and crude drawings depict shadowy figures devouring human shapes. The building itself seems to shift and change, as though the darkness is warping reality. Doors lead to dead ends, hallways loop back on themselves, and rooms that should be there simply vanish. The group becomes increasingly disoriented, losing all sense of direction. Josh insists that there's a way out, but even he starts to doubt as the situation becomes more hopeless. Mark begins to show signs of paranoia, convinced that the darkness has already gotten inside his mind. He believes that the others are no longer themselves, that they've been replaced by something else. He lashes out at Rachel and Josh, accusing them of conspiring against him, but before he can do any real harm, the darkness claims him too. He vanishes without a sound, leaving Rachel and Josh alone in the suffocating void. Part. The Final Stand. Rachel and Josh make their way to the basement, their last hope of escape. They manage to find a small generator and some old emergency lights, but the flickering bulbs only hold off the darkness for a short time. The malevolent force in the dark is stronger now, more aggressive. It no longer hides in the shadows but moves openly, twisting and contorting as it reaches for them. In a desperate final stand, Rachel and Josh try to keep the lights going, but the entity seems to grow stronger as their fear intensifies. Josh sacrifices himself to buy Rachel a few extra moments of light, urging her to run. As he disappears into the darkness, Rachel hears the sickening sound of something tearing him apart. Now completely alone, Rachel's only source of light is a single, dim flashlight that flickers weakly in her trembling hand. She stumbles through the darkened halls, pursued by the shifting shadows. Every step feels like her last as the darkness closes in, suffocating her, pulling her into its cold, inescapable grasp. Just when it seems like there's no hope left, Rachel stumbles upon a door she hadn't seen before. With trembling hands, she forces it open and stumbles outside, into the light of dawn. The blackouts have ended, and the world seems normal again. But Rachel knows that the darkness hasn't truly gone. It's still out there, waiting for the next time the lights go out. Themes and atmosphere. No Escape from the Dark is a claustrophobic and terrifying story that plays on primal fears of darkness, isolation, and the unknown. The story emphasizes the psychological toll of being trapped in a situation where every shadow holds danger, and every flicker of light could be your last. The characters are slowly driven to madness as they realize that the darkness is alive, intelligent, and hungry for their fear. The malevolent entity in the dark is never fully explained, adding to the horror. It's not just a physical threat, it's something ancient and unknowable, feeding on the very essence of those trapped within it. The story's relentless atmosphere of dread, combined with the characters' hopeless struggle for survival, makes No Escape from the Dark a chilling exploration of fear, paranoia, and the inevitability of death. The creeping darkness symbolizes both literal and metaphorical fears, as the characters confront their deepest terrors in the absence of light.
Thank you for watching. Just like and subscribe.